I'm Tim Jackson from Mind and Mill in Riverside, California, and tonight we brought Jason Calacanis, one of the most well-known angel investors on the planet, out to join us for a fireside chat, a Q&A with the audience, and a book signing. This is the second time we've done this. We're really excited. Downstairs we have a shoulder-to-shoulder crowd, and so right now I'll just ask Jason to share a little bit about what his expectations are tonight and what we can look forward to.
Well, thanks for having me back. You guys really know how to put on a good show, and I believe you can find a great entrepreneur anywhere. And so I've been traveling literally the world after my book came out, and every time I go to a city, I find another entrepreneur to invest in, and I'm trying to invest in 30, 40 people a year. It's a pretty fast pace, so I'm looking forward to the discussion, and then I'm hoping that in 3 months or 6 months, one of those people in the audience will email me their MVP, their product, and say, hey, I want to change the world. Will you give me $100,000 in 50 hours of your time? And then I'll say yes, and then we go change the world.
All right, let's head down and do this.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'll follow you.
All right, here we go. Very dramatic. See everybody again. Good to be here.
Very good.
Thanks for having me again, by the way.
Of course. Let's talk about an opportunity you're behind, the Open Book Challenge.
Basically, the way we're doing it is we're asking people to apply, share with us their MVP, and then we'll talk to them about it. We'll pick like 20 finalists, we'll bring them all together to meet, and then we'll pick the 7 winners, and then we'll invest in them. And what I would like, my message is to people, if you don't like a product that's out there, just find a better one.
Right.
Or make a better one, right? And that's what we need to do. It's like, there's always the next thing. So all I want to do is just inspire people to maybe start working on it.
Right.
I think that's would be worthwhile. The best way to get attention is to build a product that is world class and has a small number of people who are fanatical about it. If the app is designed really well and you did it yourself, people start to look at it and say credibility, credibility, credibility. So everybody's in a credibility game. What has no credibility? Emailing your life story, every competitor and how much they suck, and then 5 pages down what your solution is. And that you're going to build it once somebody gives you money. You've now disqualified yourself from the Silicon Valley, league of startups. If you don't have skills to do that, you have 2 choices. Go get the skills, or be so charismatic that, like Steve Jobs, you can convince Steve Wozniak to work for free because he has the skills to build you something that gets the ball rolling. And here's the kicker. You don't have to be perfect at it. Like, if you look at making a logo for your company, making a passable logo, to learn how to do that would take about 10 or 20 hours of learning Photoshop. Maybe 30 or 40 if you're not that quick, and 10 to 20 if you're a pretty smart, clever person and you're focused on Adderall. Anyway, whatever, you kids do. You have to make that decision. Do I spend $10,000 on a logo to get a 9 out of 10? Or do I do it myself, teach myself, watching YouTube videos, and make a 7 or 8 out of 10 and get the ball going? And the world loves people who do stuff, and the world hates people who talk about doing stuff. So put yourself into the right bucket. And if you have, God forbid, you get any kind of traction, then VCs will throw their grandmothers to the floor to get out of the way to give you a check. Entrepreneurship is just such a wonderful thing because the converse is also true. If, putting yourself in the entrepreneur's shoes, if you lose 3 times in a row and, 1 out of 3 or 1 out of 4 startups make it, you're due. The problem is most people do 1 startup, they quit. Or they do 1 startup and they quit too soon, you really have to look at the arc of your career, whether you're 40 or 14, and just do 3, just plan on doing 4 startups. If the first one works, great, do 1. But if the first 3 fail, get back on the horse.
Right.
It just might work. And if you look at Angry Birds, it was like the 30th or 40th game that they made at that game studio. And then Angry Birds became the thing.
At Rovio.
At Rovio. It was like, can you imagine you're in a meeting like, yeah, so here's the idea. You shoot birds from a slingshot, and then you knock shit over with the birds. Somebody's like, do that. That'll make us $1 billion company. Or Airbnb, I have an idea. what if you could stay on somebody's couch who you don't know? Oh, like a serial killer's? Yeah, that sounds like a $30 billion company to me.
Right. Or driving someone's car that you don't know.
Yeah, how about you get picked up by somebody who's in between jobs?
Well, let's thank Jason first, guys.
Thanks for having me.